We're in the studio with filmmaker Mike Scholtz, and we are going to find out what's going on with Wicker Kittens, his latest film. What's happening, Mike?
Well, we just got accepted to South by Southwest last week, we found out, and it's pretty exciting because it's one of the biggest film festivals, I think, in the United States.
For people who don't know about what Wicker Kittens is about, can you give us the short version of what is the plot? What is happening in Wicker Kittens?
Yes, we've chosen as our tagline the documentary about competitive jigsaw puzzling. And so that's pretty much what it's about. We're lucky in Minnesota to have the largest remaining jigsaw puzzle contest in the country. It happens every year at the St. Paul Winter Carnival. And it actually still attracts people from all over the country to it because it is the last remaining large contest. It's mostly Minnesotans, though, who are competing.
We're done! Okay, we're done! No, we're done!
We were lucky that it was here and we could cover it, and it's it's another nice Minnesota story.
And just full disclosure, I did get to be at the Winter Carnival when you were shooting. Pretty exciting, pretty tense situation when they flip over the puzzles and say go.
Oh yeah, it's to give you some idea of how exciting it is, South by Southwest has started this year a new category of sports films, and they included Wicker Kittens in the sports film category, because it's a competition. We laughed when we heard that, but it's okay. Whatever brings more attention to the film is fine with me.
A previous film, Wild Bill's Run, had a great play around the festival circuit. Tell us a little bit about that project, and what do you think it was about Wild Bill that really grabbed people?
Yeah, that film, which I did 2 years ago, was about a guy. Again, it's a Minnesota story about a guy from Willow River who led a snowmobile expedition to the Arctic. And then that went really badly, and he came back and became a mastermind criminal, one of the biggest drug smugglers in the 1970s. And so, I think just right there, crime plus snowmobiling, that was an attractive mix for a lot of festivals.
So what makes a good story for you? What do you look for? What makes you say, I'm going to spend some time on this one?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to characters, because I think you've got to, with any documentary, it can be like an issue like, people who are against building a pipeline, or, it can be something serious like that, or it can be like, a snowmobile crime story. But really, if you just are going through the motions and telling the story, who cares? I think you've got to have like really, really unique characters. You've got to hope that somewhere along the line, while you're researching it and interviewing people, you discover a handful of people who are just really either engaging or crazy, or something about them that just is watchable. And if you can discover those characters along the way, then you'll know, yeah, you're going to have a film.
You also, with Wicker Kittens, have a fantastic soundtrack. You want to touch on that a little bit? When
we were editing Wicker Kittens, we put in a couple of Portrait of a Drowned Man songs, but they weren't. Some of them worked, but others weren't quite right. But we liked them so much that we just decided, the director Amy Elliott and I decided, well, let's just ask Portrait of a Drowned Man if they would ever consider writing original music for an entire movie. And they were happy to do it. I think they thought we were kidding at first. I think most people, when I say we're making a movie about competitive jigsaw puzzling, they assume I'm joking. But we convinced them it was real, and met with them, and they composed 4 lengthy songs that are prominently featured in the movie. And it was one of the most fun things about the whole filmmaking process was working with those guys.
If you will, tip your hand, when can the Twin Ports see Wicker Kittens?
Well, I don't want to make any promises. I am one of the programmers of the Free Range Film Festival, so I think it's a good bet that we would play it there. But I don't think it would be appropriate to announce it officially, because other filmmakers will be angry with me for taking advantage of my inside track. But we're already talking about having a puzzle swap in the barn, so I think it's a it's a good bet it might show up at the Free Range Film Festival this year.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for bringing original art and film to the Twin Ports, and good luck on the journey.
Thank you, and thanks for helping out with the film.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.